Right on schedule. I would like to talk about what's happening as a global population, like what's out there. And pardon me where I'm just going to get into channel, okay? Yes. You see, you don't know it, but not everybody you meet is fully human. They are under programming that's just kind of a backdrop it's here, it's going, it's chugging away, and you see it being wiped out, and then you can build and do more. It's just money. It's the money scene, guaranteed. Money kind of keeps it going. It's just that's the institution it is. Now, my point is it's not human. That thing is not human. See, it's kind of a spinoff. It just goes whoops, and then now, having said that, babes, it's very dangerous that part of the populace is because they're not human for one, and then because now something is controlling them literally, controlling them. Um, it could be now. I detect that it's generational. See, right now there's a turnover, right? There's always a turnover. There's generations, right? There's a generating happening, or is it degenerating? See, what are we generating, Shauna? Good question. I say that the evolution of human consciousness is to keep going. I mean, there's just a possibility that there could be a human civilization here. Like and subscribe. So then, if you like Shauna's sci-fi being channeled right now to you, very hard to be one of these kinds, though, by the way, because we don't quite understand what's happening with us, but we're here for a reason. We just, here it is, and it happens to be called a channel. So really, you have to know and be aware of how dangerous it is here on this earth, because well, there's that incarnations of hell happening. It doesn't even know that there's reincarnation, right? I mean, we're looking at stories of reincarnation where little boys are taking detectives to a gravesite where they were killed in their last life. They say, "Excuse me, but I need to kind of wrap this up. In my last life, when I was 26, somebody hit me with a hatchet right here, and they point at a birthmark." They're like, "Huh? Well, that guy is missing from 1960 fucking 5. Let's go see." They unearth it, and they find the fucking skeleton, and there's a hatchet next to it, and the little boy says, "Thank you. And now I can go on with whatever I'm doing here." Me, my conscious incarnations, because I like to come here and just banter something weird and then leave, and then everybody's like, it just keeps talk about the confusion going, and just I didn't mean to interrupt you there in your stupor. I mean, you're stupid. I have a pile of bones over here 2 miles high. They're mine. They pile up after a while and they crush together, and you're like, is that a mountain? No, those are my bones. I'm a master, by the way. And that's an illusion too. Get rid of it. Let me get back. I really wanted to talk to. Sorry about that. I'm assuming these verbal habits that are only cognizant. I guess if that's a word of the. And pardon the way I look too. I have had no sleep. I would like to talk about the astrology and where humanity is at this point, because I am humanity. Can you say that, friends? Hit like and subscribe then, because I'm your leader. A bleeder. Like how when somehow your perfectly white socks have turned pink. You're like, well, they're kind of cool looking too. I mean, you're like, well, it's not bad. I like pink. I think it's a good trend. I think I'll just keep doing it. And then you actually start dyeing your socks pink. You're like, fucking, this is great. All we know is that you didn't even see us, man. We just made it your idea. Thank God. Done. Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here, man. Woo! Woo! Please get me out of here. Only so much time left for you here. Fucking thank God. And I'm almost halfway through it, and I've been hit pretty bad, man, by the enemy, right? Ruthless, ruthless. They'll never admit that they're wrong. They can't go wrong, right? They were helping you, and how dare you? Boy, talk about getting it all wrong. And so then you have to forgive them. You know, that's the whole kind of religion that's perpetuating here, right? Because there it is. And not that the story of Jesus Christ was here, and you've noticed what that story. By the way, that thing right there, babes. Now, there's two types here. There's somebody who's holding up a cross. Now, the cross is an X. It says, fuck you! That's really it. No, actually, it was a picnic table. It was just set up strange, and then you're supposed to nail your friend up against it and say, my friend, yes, a leader even. Great idea, had such great ideas. That's why we shish kebab them and drink their blood. Sorry. No, this is the sign of Satan. An X or this. So never trust anybody who wears it and hangs it on their wall. Or I mean, just figure that, uh-oh. That person there tried to warn you of this deception, by the way. Otherwise, in that story, in the movie, there's two types of people. There is a fish. When the person was alive that was walking around making statements and saying, fuck, what's wrong with you people? Oh my God, I can see it's only a matter of time that I get hit by this crowd over here that couldn't care less. I mean, I'm a threat to them, right? But not to you. Not to the people that are like, wait a minute, you're all right, you're cool, I love you, look at what you just did. How did you attract all those fish like that? Just pay attention to animal life, that's all. You can know when a rooster is going to flap its wings and crow. You can communicate to animals. You would be surprised how they're here to actually save us somehow, and I'm pretty sure fish are okay with it, man. They're like, please. Chickens are like that too. They're like, you mean, wait a minute, you're not going to eat me? Not even if I die randomly, like a hawk gets me and you find me dead on the ground? After 12 years of marinating in chicken, you're not going to fucking pluck my feathers out and eat me because I love you and I'm an angel. I'm trying to save your life. No. No. I'm telling you, my chickens, they're all right, you know. They're handling their lifestyle okay, you know. Not knowing what they're doing here. They're just flopping around. I do eat their eggs. They tell me every day, it's like, look, and can you see? It's endless, these fucking souls. Christ Jesus once, you know, the story goes, she was walking through a village. It's she, by the way. Small s, capital H-E. Get it, baby, get it! Just a story. Fucking A, man. And one side of the story is missing? Yes. What is that? Fucking your side, most likely. What are you talking about, babe? Where are you coming from, really? See, there's people that they hold up the fish back in that story when she was walking around doing her thing, and they began to realize they're like, wait a minute, you're right. You're righteous, baby. And they're like, nah, it's all right. Shh. And they would wink at each other and they would hold up a fish. That's where the sign of the fish comes from. Now, there's two types of people here. I'm sorry, I'm just making this up. I'm drinking vodka again. I love this. There's two types of fucking people here. One of them knows about the fish, and they wink at you, and they hold up the fish, and they're like, yeah. Reality is God. All we have to work with our hands to heal things is the truth. It includes helping each other. Oh my God, excuse me, I have a mob coming right now. Jesus, help me, Lord! Come here, child. I love you. I love you. Good God. Whew. Gave me the heebie-jeebies. I'll be right there. I'm a live performing artist. That's why I'm here. But everybody is. You know, you're a character here, and psychopaths, you know, they're uncomfortable with you that knows this because you assume as many characters as possible daily to in order to be a part of the movie. See, right now I'm being the character that it's a very sophisticated character, but really I know that I'm in control of what I make you see. Especially with Neptune coming over my ascendant. Boy, should I take a shower? See, the key to what I had just said and contradicted myself over is that I have control. Nonsense. And that's what I'm afraid of, babe. See, this full moon right now that I'm making this on the full moon, and there's so many other videos that I'm just not going to put up, but there's so much useful information, I think, and it's funny stuff, but I don't want to edit it because I went into some personal stuff that I don't want to do that anymore. I'm here for the collective. There's one soul, there's a singularity that is connected by the way of the heart, and the way that you know that that's real is that you just prove it through resonation. There's something called resonation, and I would love to have an acoustic guitar right here to prove to you what it is. It's say like this. See, like what I'm doing here is I'm in effect I'm singing with communications. It's communion, by the way. It's what's called communion religiously. Inside of communications is the word communion. Just kidding. Let me take another fucking swig of vodka. God, I'm making this shit up. I channel, Hans. What am I going to do now with me? I know I'm supposed to remain on here for the rest of my life and carry it like my crucifix. Lost in translation, huh? What part of one do you not understand, babes? We are one with the universe. And we use a fish for our understanding of that, what the universe really is. The universe is our relation with each other. It is comprised of expanding and contracting beings. Now, that statement, those two statements, you can go 1, 2, and up to 10. This is another book. I've mentioned a book, and I probably didn't post it. I'm sorry, but you should be reading these books because some books are actually good to read. Even if it's printed in lowercase base waste, they'll give you an idea of something that it's like, I knew this, and now, what just happened? Well, keep looking for gurus, people that know how to do such poetry that awakens your own knowledge that is stored. Basically, it's your own heart's ability to resonate with the holy truth that is actually, it's here already. There is nothing new under the sun. It is called Akasha. My temperament is the way it is right now because it's, I'm being hit so hard with something. It's not just EMF waves from Elon Musk. I feel that periodically. I'm a super sensitive person. Unfortunately, the rurals, the places where people were supposed to go and seek refuge, and the possibility of actually getting in touch and going, oh my God, fish, they are hitting that the most. No, it's not unknown. It is known, and you can look at the patents that they make like electronic fencing or EMF wave fencing. Right now, the waterways, especially out in the forests where it's just beautiful, right? You don't find people going out there. The Forest Service is discouraging it more and more. That's their job as just privately owned corporations that are working under the hidden hand. Did I tell you about that fucking hidden hand? This is the reason why I wanted to open this up, is to make you understand. And it's blooming now. You'll see it because it's generational, and you can predict through astrology what kind of generational hoopla the negative side, which is the Taurian vibration right now because of the Pluto. The Pluto is the degenerator, the destroyer, and the creator. It's God. And you watch Pluto, what it's doing, because that's your generational thing and degenerational. I mean, things have to break down, right? The old is always kind of break down, and now what's really breaking down is what isn't going to last as a great idea. Now, talk about that, babes. Our ideas here, because there's that hidden hand and there's a fucking hijacker, are being stolen. Whatever it is, we figure it out. Whatever we do, whatever it is we figure out, like Tesla, how he figured out, he knew, and there's more conversation about it, but you just have to do the research. He's like, no, this is what's happening under the pyramids. I mean, this is what the pyramids are. Now, it's telling me that we live in a purely technological soup that You can figure it out. You can figure out through the English alphabet how it operates electrically. That's what I'm pointing at when I talk about the vowels. E. It's there already. You can see it. Patsy found some information about the A stands for atom and E stands for electron and or energy or electricity. It just so happens that it starts with E. Coincidence, babe. Coincidence. Coin? The word coin in there? We'll get back to that later. I was trying to tell you something right now about the entities around you that might be awakening. Just under programming, they do not have a mind of their own. They have a sense of, well, that they're fucking up all the time. That's pretty much it, man. And they go, why does this always backfire on me? And they're like, you know what? I can guarantee you I'm being good. Yeah, it's just like Jesus, right? It's just like Jesus. I'm getting treated like Jesus. Not necessarily. No. You're the ones that Jesus said, no, watch out for these fucking people. Because they are operating, they are not doing their own faculties. They never really found a guru that they can trust and look in the eyes and say, and who could tell them something, see that they can respect, that could tell them something very beautiful, especially if they were in an uncertain time and needed good guidance. What do you get? In a lot of places, I sense that it's 92% that never run across somebody that tells them what they need to hear. There's somebody there with an ego that, okay, now talking about this fucking society that is kind of, it's hanging on these web and these ropes, and they can't move right now. Really, that's what the generation I sense right now. See, you can tell the methods of which the system will try to crunch down human evolution itself by keeping a whole generation down by way of manipulating. Right now, it's the money scene. Let's have an economic collapse, and now that affects the Taurus vibration. See, it's pointing at, see, Taurus says, no, I'm going to collapse because this is not being used right. I'm being abused. Taurus is the feminine vibration, by the way. V. Values. Anything that starts with a V. Evaluate. Love is there. Yeah, Venus. Taurus. It's an earth sign. Earth is Venus ruled. And so then that part of the organism that has a sense of values and stuff, and they've been running to money and money only. I say, now this is on the full moon that I'm typing this. I'm saying that I see financial collapse coming by in between April 19th and the 24th. I don't want to be a forebodder and say that it's bad luck for everybody. No. For a lot of people, it's really good luck. There's something going on with the trade scene I saw, and it starts with the World Trade Center being bombed, which is a good thing. You don't want too much of a foreign entity taking away your ability to take care of each other with your own two hands. Catch your own fish. Good God! China taking our chickens that we manufacture here, growing them, and then we send it over there so they can wash it up for us. This is really happening. And then they send it back. Speaking of that, babes, my cat, she's a little bit listless today and kind of sick. And she has the sniffles, and I can see she's kind of got a little sniffle. And it's because of the chicken I fed her. And that chicken is meant for human beings. So if you're in the United States and you're Southern California and you're listening to this, don't eat the chicken anymore. Oh, unless you like your random illness and you think that that's something that's just a random thing that we get sick, that's just a part of life. No. Christ Jesus was here to tell you that, oh, I promise you, this is the promise. You won't ever see one of these things happen to you ever again. God, a bedhead. Because you don't care about it. You just think, oh, God, it's so beautiful the way you do that. Just do that again. What I mean is, you'll never see sickness. You don't have to get old, and you're not going to die. Is this the same movie? There's just one movie called Now. And when you've reached now as just the only place you can ever fucking, like, if you had a goal, that's it. And then from there, you see, this is pure awareness beyond mind. The Savior. See, my neighbors, they just don't know who I am. And that's fine. It doesn't bug me. I don't take it personally, but it's just really disappointing. And they don't recognize a disappointed person, right? They don't recognize any emotions. In fact, they've been trying to shut it off for, this is the crew over here that, man, they practice staunch ignorance like as a religion. They're handing out earmuffs and earplugs and fucking goggles, I guess. They're like, here, try this. Just block everything out. I'm like, whoa, you're dangerous. Because first of all, this is a wilderness area. Who are you going to rely on here when you're fucking blinding yourself? First of all, you're not even asking me who I am. I've been here for 40 years. Now, if they're listening to this, I'm just plain embarrassed for you. I totally, you're forgiven. You know, I forgive you a long time ago by just being really quiet. I gave you enough space so that I can see exactly who you are and so that you can see who I am. You come and you look and you're coming. You're pardon the funny stuff. Now I'm gonna call you colonists. Colonists. I was warning you about that. It's like, well, because no, this was after I found out that you guys are not in favor of anything. You don't even know what you're in favor of. You stand for what? You have now. You're no. I'm not. I want you to know this, that you're being controlled by something. When you take one of you away from your mob that you have, which could be just family. Have you ever heard of the family, man? Family, yeah. The Gestapo. Otherwise, you just have good friends, okay? All right? That's the highest possible role that you can be towards one another. Yes, even your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle. Let's hopefully you married your best friend, because that's what you usually hear. Never is it a wife or a husband that you have over there. That's your best friend, by the way. And it's not yours. That's a person. That's a human being. Let them speak for themselves. Every once in a while, maybe just let action speak louder than words. Woo! 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 Oh, excuse me. Kind of did that already. You know, you keep silent for a while and you just watch. And it's like this. I'm waving. Hi, hi. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, well, I'm a human being who says hello. I see you. Reality's here and you just arrived. It seems like it. Did you? Where did you go? I was still questioning. They're just like, see, I didn't need anything, but no, see, I began to get, no, I was getting pretty funky, babes. Going through a lot of emotional turmoil. I'm a human being here. I've got my brother trying to commit suicide in the background. I'm like, well, why don't you televise it? Not. It's like, well, then I'm being attacked over here, and it's feeling like all this resentful energy and frustration is just being put into me by these other people that are just, they're loving me. They're loving me. And then I'm like, ah, you know. Well, what happened was they started pouring asphalt around, and there's where I just went, uh, what makes those people spontaneously jump up and X the place out, Hans, with black asphalt that is actually tainted, so poisonous, it was a fucking deep state deal. And they said, do this. No, do this. They said, because, you know, they have work going on construction sites up here that is kind of questionable. You know, like, wow, nice overdevelopment there. And they're using black asphalt, you know, to make their parking lots and stuff. And but it's actually good grade asphalt. You can see that it's done professionally. It's very smooth and nice. This particular asphalt was just take this up there and advertise it to the narcissists who love to get a good deal. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay, who's going to pay them? Deep state is. They're going to exit out. They're just going to exit out. That's the fucking military deep state that they don't. When I was talking about the frequencies that Elon Musk's, whatever, he's a puppet, by the way. He doesn't know anything. You're looking at puppets on a stage. The satellites are putting the electric fences. It reminds me of I've talked about this before, and thank you for liking and subscribing, and even your donation. I'm looking for $1 from at least 10,000 people. What do you think? How do I do that? Do I continue to try to open people's neurons by being a literal effect of equal to the hit of an LSD or mushrooms? Or do I just start stripping off my clothes and dancing to music and going, hey, baby, you know, and I'm feminine. Yeah. I'm about ready to. Can you save me from that at least? Send $20. Who am I kidding? I'm getting ready, babes. Just give me a few more years. I have some great movies I made privately without my clothes on. Anyway, let's get back to well, I'm trying to keep from being sick. I've been rendered up ill because I've been hit by that population who is designed to kill you. Tell it like it is. I mean, they don't give a fuck about you. And you know where it's at right now? Because you'll see it in the American movies in particular. Your movies are like this. They're like, look at these couples. Look at these people. Look at these men and women functioning together. They're having a conversation. They're all wearing black, and it's gothic as hell. And one of them is standing on a windowsill. She was about to turn into a bat, and she's like, they're both trying to kill each other constantly, is the fucking point. And it's like, they both know it, too. They're like, and so, you mean that? And they kind of click out of it, and they have tea together. So what are you going to do next? Is this tea poison? No, because you had made it for yourself. Remember, I had given it to the cat, and it died, and I had to make sure that you didn't. Yeah, okay, so, well, today, are you going to go kill so-and-so for me? No. Well, if you want me to, I will, but I'm going to blackmail you about it. All right. See, it's that kind of thing. It's like, why is that a movie as a series that people are going, I got to catch the next episode of that? Because it's happening in real life. Your narcissist is just going to tell you. I mean, basically, it's like a government policy. Getting back to this hidden hand that says, now make sure that you get consent somehow. How are you going to do that? Really, this is an age-old story. It's like this, well, once you invite the enemy in and you let them go through your border lines, how about say that? You have borders. You set boundaries and then you have a little place where you let them in, right? Well, if you don't get the red flags like 6 miles beforehand, right? Pardon me while I let my cat out. She wants to be in this window. She's such a cute and sweet little girl. I noticed that she's handicapped. I'm not kidding about that. She's a special needs kitten, and this comes with, she's a healer. She's not a cat. That's what I'm aware of right now, and she's the only one right now that's keeping my mind stable and my emotionality away from. Now talk about being reduced into a killer, babes. So if you are messing with alive women in general, particularly if you are an alive and well woman who you're designed to bring things up, just your being here with the higher vibrational frequency is keeping things green, right? That's your position of power. You're the leader here. You're the one having kids here. Men can't. Can I say that? It's just the truth. I have to do that more and more. Just stick it to them. There's other stuff that I'm being downloaded with. It's just like, God, this is so fucking profound. And oh, was I talking about it earlier? About the backdrop society over there? Babes, see, women need to know something that it can be known naturally, because if you're left alone and you're a natural born woman that didn't have a narcissist for a mother or something like that, this is just who she is. And she can write a book about it. She can say, now that I'm 50, I'm going to let you know how it goes. And I can see it coming up. See, I'm getting that way. I'm looking at something and it's like, well, yeah, you haven't experienced this, but it's like, no, excuse me, it's time to fucking talk. Now, talking about getting back to that generational thing, right? Because, well, we're about 50 years old and we get a crisis going on. It's like, well, are we going to die? Are we going to live? What is going to happen? Why can't we do it? Blah, blah, blah. What is going on, right? See, that's the Chiron return. Some people do it better than others. And I have a feeling that women are kind of geared for the process of life and even giving birth and death and all that stuff. Maybe. Maybe. I know that men, I don't like, see, I hate this fucking subject matter because it makes me sound like I'm biased and that I'm a feminist and all this shit, and I'm not! I'm a human being. I say both men and women can accomplish this level of awareness and communication skills. and even ability to be physically present with things and fix things. Christ said, and you too can have this. What's the problem? Is this the same fucking story? Just dial in. Fucking set your mind aside and look at it and stop listening. See that system? That backdrop system? That it's really hard to explain this fucking movie. But see, there's programming that it's geared to fire off generationally because why? They're a success. Quote unquote. Oh, the system told them to. Everything. It's generational. If you can imagine how the education system gets altered and just starts programming people to do a certain other thing. In accordance to what, Shauna? What are you talking about? Generationally, well, it takes a while, and then they're programmed to do a certain thing, and then they run for money a certain way like this, and it's kind of a wall, right? They're sheltering. And talk about those fencing people, and then useless, really. It's really dangerous. Why is this happening? Why do you think like this, Shauna? It's not just me, babes. We're looking at, like John Lennon. He's like, I think everybody's crazy, whoever runs the world. At one point, I'm going to sit them down and ask them to explain themselves because I don't think they make a bit of sense at all. I think they've gone mad. And then they killed him. That's what happened to your long-haired people. You can be a man and have that happen to you. Yeah, he's living proof. So that's just the feminine. The feminine is saying, really? Let's see how long we live with this. You guys are, oh, well, nice disease over there. And what kind of disease is it now? And how many disease? And it's normal, huh? Oh, normal according to what? Gene pool? Yeah, right. A real scientist is here to tell you that there's instant healing. Just like that, I experience it because I'm kind of a scientist myself. Not only that, but no, I'm a woman. That's all. I'm designed to heal, by the way. I cannot afford at my design the way God made me because it's possible that I could have children and then I have to take care of them and everything else too, right? We are designed to like smell better things. Like we can smell something. Yeah, this is great. Really good for you. But men don't have that skill. See, they can bring something home, and I don't know. I mean, but see, she has to do quality control, babes. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Because, babes, it's coming alive in the generational spew. And what if it's like this each and every time that the feminine rises and then it gets slammed down? What if? And it just keeps resetting the clock. Not every 2,000 years. Fuck, try every 40 years, man. Now that we can see it. That's obvious. They're like, how soon can we do this? Total teardown and then recreation of something that's like, it's not human evolution. Because it's being systematically programmed by a hidden hand. See, it's very, very real what I'm talking about. And the reason why I'm piping up about it, because I'm experiencing it firsthand, and then I'm hearing other people say it. They're saying, no, this is what's going on, babe. Satanic cult. People are being programmed through heavy-duty abuse. And they get taken by an entity. It's Satan. Satanic. It does not like me. I'm being attacked right now. I'm under full attack. And I'm managing a smile because why? I'm the human spirit. We're like, wow, bingo! There is something going on here. Excuse me. This is not just get up and eat dinner, breakfast, and go to work and come back and sleep and then do it again all over again, folks. And my heart's pounding so fucking good right now. It could stop any moment, and I thank God because I figured it out before I wasted anybody's time here. And so now I'm on my crucifix. Lost in translation. It's either an electronic gravestone or it's your crucifix. Which one? Which one are you holding up to the fucking... You know, which one are you? There's two types here. I was trying to tell you. The ones that know that the universe, it's like, come on. Why do you take... Whoa, are you going to take it that seriously? Ruthless. It's ruthless out there, isn't it? No. Yeah, you know that your malignant cases of narcissists and sociopaths and psychos and sadomasochists are ruthless. They will never back down and say, oh God, you're right. I'm fucking up all the time and it never works for me. You know, all of my resources get stripped and then I just go out and do it again. I have to do it again, right? I'm like, ugh! But really what I did was nothing happened. It was a collapse. No evolution. Keep the karmic ball rolling, and I'm a proud savior. I'm innocent in this because why? Because you're the breadwinner. That can happen falsely. You know, you can get your false self going with women too. That's how my stepmother was, and it's like, you know, these women are kind of masculine. They have like a sergeant fucking feel about them. They could even have long hair and even be completely heterosexual, but there's something about them that it's like, babes, you got to get your woman on a little bit more better. And when you look into them, babes, yeah, ones that succumb this way, it's funny. A man will push her to do that. Why? He's smart. He's like, you fucking deal with the system. Here, look, dear, you know, you seem to be incomplete. I'm here, and it could be a waste of my time if you don't go making money. See, here's a job right here you can get at the electric company. I don't know. See, a narcissist can form not necessarily from being beaten down and sexually raped at 3 and 4 years old. No, all it takes now is your system over there that falsely programs people about God, about how you're supposed to associate, about everything pretty much. It's like when you start feeling joy, slap it back. And do it in such a way that says, no, not now, honey, you have to go and do this first, or something like that, right? When it's really none of your fucking business to treat children in any way, shape, or form except for to protect them and make sure they're free enough, give them as much as they ask for, expose them to every single fucking thing. Yes! Are you people making love? What are you doing? Do it in front of them. What are you going to do? When they catch you kissing, aren't you people in love? Oh, God. Babes, get out of here. Get out of my face. Ugh. Sorry, I don't mean to be... I love everybody. There's an instant cure for you. It's through resonation, you know. It's daring when people start attempting to resonate, to start communicating and radiating. It's going to be a big movement when Uranus goes into Gemini and it starts to trine Pluto. This means that all the Libra, including the generation that is me, is going to wake up and go, no, us, me. And what we're doing, all we're doing is we're just taking very little of what we could possibly hang on to of our parents' fucking hand-me-down. Of what, Shauna, what? Not pure rubbish. But, like, let's talk about how do you heal with your hands? How do you look each other in the eye and not hex each other out with fucking scripture and shit? How do you be real? Is there some kind of poetry that you can remind us about over? Yes. Yes, there is. You know, out of the whole library over there, fucking A. It's like the supermarket, the food market. Out of all the food there's this one little fucking section way over there. And it's just very small. Out of all of it, you have to weed around that stinking crap and get that nourishment. It's a book. It's now this one book it's written by Thaddeus Golas. Golas. And it's called The Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment. See, my family, my mother and my father, they're known to hand books to people and then wink at them. And they're known to have saved people. They swear up and down that these people have saved them. They are so brilliant. And I'm like, I believe you. I know my parents. They used to talk. My dad is a hypnotherapist. He was 12 years a probation officer. He was a counselor in a reform school for boys for a long time. He studied psychology for nearly 9 years, the time that it would take to become an official psychologist. What happened is during the time that he saw he was studying in the 60s, that the statistics books of mental illness started thickening. And he began to see that that's a farce, because at the same time he's studying Buddhism. And that right over there is older than anything like Christianity. It's actually just a conversation between two people. One of them is conquered of the mind. They see the mind with the mind, and therefore it's dissolved. They can move in and out of it. They can help people with it. And the other one is unaware that the mind is there and being the problem. They are not enlightened yet. There's two types here. One of them holds up a fish. The other one holds up a cross.